Alright, back into ranked, still playing Final Fantasy. One little change we've made, we've added the new Kuja from a recommendation I saw, and I've seen a few people play it, I've been impressed, so we're trying it out here. Elvish Mystic, so
Oh, he did.
this is either Elves or Mono Green Devotion. Oh, Mono Green Devotion, so we definitely don't want them having an established board. We are flooding a bit, but this is why we love Joshua. Still don't have his sound effect ready yet, gotta look into that. Draws us a Vanishing Verse, which is key against this deck. There's a Kiora. This is where this deck can get scary. So, Old Growth Troll. We need to exile that troll, so
Bye.
get rid of that. Put some pressure on Kiora. Basically, we just got Kiora and the Outlaw are their card draw engines that let them pop off. And Kiora's ability to untap the Nykthos lets them go insane. So, where you can, limit their card draw, limit their ability to untap, and you've pretty much got it solid. Like, for example, here, they're up to Cavalier of Thorns. Right, what do they find? 5 lands of Cavalier. So, they take a basic, play a land or elves, and another Elvish Mystic. They are getting a lot of creatures, but not a lot of triggers. So, let's get down Niv.
Reload.
And we get a 5-hit. Love having the more multicolored cards here. Right, so where do we go from here? There's a Trailblazer Outlaw, so this is where the deck gets dangerous. They have the ability now to generate 18 plus mana with a Kiora untap. There's a Troll. They draw 2 cards. We need them to whiff on a few key things here. Okay, Elf, that's good. Oh, they did not draw... okay, they didn't draw the key thing here. So, shocking. Let's consider options here. We have enough to flip Joshua. Right, I think the first thing we have to do is we have to limit their card draw. So first,
Oh, he did.
Helix Kiora, Tyrant Scorn, the Outlast Trailblazer. They don't have much in hand right now. We will pass. We don't want to trigger the Cavalier because that will let them get back the Trailblazer or the Kiora, and they could still try and go off. They find another mana dork here. That's their one reach blocker. So let's use Vanishing Verse on that to clear away for the air.
Oh, he did.
Now his swing with Niv puts them down to 14, and more interestingly, I'm judging our board here. Flipping Joshua into the Phoenix here is 2 for 8 damage plus a Niv trigger. That's lethal if they don't have Triumph blockers. So flip the Phoenix. We don't need a rebirth here. What we need to do is just take this hit, swing back in the air for 10, and Phoenix's Saga trigger will kill them. Oh man, they drew all of their mana acceleration and none of their big money payoffs. Phoenix puts them down to 10. We swing in for 10 in the air. No flying blockers. Take it down. We got lucky there. We whiffed an early thing. So, no more lies and fatal pushes come in. We'll take out the Gotlands. Gotland might be cut from the deck. He is... I kind of looked at him as a Dragon Rage channeler, but he's not as impactful as I thought he would be. He might be something we keep in just as a little one-off to deal with stuff here. Opponent sideboarding. Now, their sideboard strategy against us is not really anything major. They just literally probably bring in the pick your poisons and other effects. This hand is a tad slow, but if we can unmoored Ego and take out one of their key pieces here, we could have a great turn. So, we now have a... Oh yeah, perfect. So, we go straight into exiling their Big Devotion creature. Now, they put out a Trailblazer, so what we can do here is we can use the unmoored Ego to take out the Nykthos, because that's the true superpower explosion of their state. So, they have 2 Storm the Festivals... Lots of standard stuff, nothing major. We take out the 4 Nykthoses now, so the best they can do with some of their untaps is, they're basically playing a ramp deck without the Nykthos here. So, they draw and draw. They untap a land and play a Growth Troll. Draw and draw. See, this is where it could get crazy. Alright, so let's play a land. Let's get the Cornucopia down, and then let's Helix.
Oh, he did.
Gain a ton of life to keep us on 22 healthy. Now, they Wolf Willow Haven, so they could essentially make this very big. Swing us down to 17. Time for a Joshua. Gain 2 life. We'll get rid of 2 lands here because we still have a spell, but we also want to... Oh, Bring to Light's a good hit. Man, I'm loving the Joshua card. I think he'll be a mainstay. He might not forever stay a 4 of, but he's kind of what I've been asking for in multicolored. Oop, Storm the Festival, so let's cross fingers, cross everything you got. Just 2 lands. Excellent. The big thing with Storm the Festival, where they can really go off against this deck, is if they go Nick Voss and another way to untap it, they can make some insane mana. So first, we're going to bounce this to their hand. Right. I think our best bet here is, yep, we're going to go for Bring to Light. I think we just go for the reload. We need some more answers. Gain 5 life. Gotta love Cornucopia. Alright, so more things to kill stuff. Yeah, that might be the name of the reload. Right, put pressure on Kiora here. They don't block because they want the mana for the... Okay, so they're turning this land into a mega ramp, but even untapping a land that taps for 3 or 4 is not as crazy or scary to me as untapping a Nick Voss with 12 devotion over and over again. So I'm not too worried about this. Yeah, see, look, this is the kind of perfect hand they could have got. They could have got Kiora and a Nick Voss here to get more devotion. They do have more card draw, which is annoying. Tap a land. They can tap for 4, 5. Yep, there's a Cavalier. They mill. There's one of their Pick Your Poisons. They did bring that in. Alright, so play a land. Vanishing Verse.
Bye.
Get rid of the flying blocker. Let's kill the card draw, like I said, make sure they can't deal with that. And hold back. We've got life here. We're not too worried about a massive pop-off, and we have 2 answers to anything truly scary. So basically they could go for another Storm here, but they would have to tap out. Trailblazer. Cool thing here. Trailblazer has an ETB.
Oh, he did.
So when they trigger that to gain things, we can take that out before anything else. So they can't maintain priority. Another Storm the Festival, so 2 lands. Yep, when they can't find their Mega Land, those aren't that scary to us. Alright, play a land. It might be time to just flip a Phoenix and do the same trick again here. So let's swing in with Niv. So this is good maths to know. So 1 Niv hit. Oh right, no, we go for the Yorion flip. Yeah, that's way better. Yorion's gonna come in, blinkety blink, blink everything. Auto Stacker puts Niv first.
Reload.
We find everything we want here. Okay, we'll discard the Cosmic Rebirth. No, wait. Well, yeah, Cosmic Rebirth and the Supreme Verdict to draw no more lies, which is really good here. So, if they go for a big Storm the Festival here, we can go for no more lies, gain life.
Nope.
They have to pay to tap it out. But now, without a Nick Voss or anything insane, the best they can do is find something that we could easily block, bounce, or destroy, and then we can get in for lethal. Yeah, see, they do find one of their reach blockers here, but we can Tyrant Score and bounce that, and then we'll have enough to take them out here. So, Tyrant Scorn.
Bye.
Bounce their thing, yep, and they realize they're dead to our board. Good game. Match 2. Let's see how this one goes. Okay. We don't have the mana for the Garland. Let's see what else we can do here. We do have an Ignis. Alright, so it's either Izzet Prowess or Izzet Phoenix. Probably both, because the Izzet Phoenix decks, yeah, there we go. There's a thing. So first of all, we cannot let you have that.
Try again.
Basically, yeah, you can't let them have Artist Talents because that's basically turbo looting. Alright, so let's go with Ignis here, see if we can invoke any counter. No counter. So let's get a land onto the battlefield ready for our Bring to Light next turn. Also, he does incidentally have Graveyard Hate, so they might want to kill him. There's a Phoenix, so yeah. So for those of you who don't know, the Phoenix deck currently, that I've been seeing a lot more of, is using... still using Arclight, but in addition to Arclight, they've dropped their additional, like, Ledger Shredder / other things for a, oh, what's it called? For the old, Koi Steel Cutter.
Reload.
Right, we grab a reload here. We take removal, answers, and other things. Right, let's discard Garland, and probably X-Def because their removal's solid here. They probably have enough to kill Niv, but if we can resolve Supreme here, it's basically a lock. Their deck, literally, every version of Izzet Phoenix, it's basically mega cantrip deck. So all their interactive stuff is their 1 mana blue bounce or their red burn spells. There's no multicolor spells. Yeah, see like that. They have a thing to bounce it. Not a big deal, so let's Vanishing Verse.
Bye.
And then let's get Supreme down. So as you see here now, we can buy back all our spells. They basically can't kill this. The one thing that I know they have could be an Otawara, which would be 4 mana bounce this, but then it just comes back to our hand. So what you're seeing here is our opponent is probably holding a bunch of red spells as well, which without valid targets here makes it much harder for them. So they activate the Steel Cutter number 2. Play a land. They go for the attack here, we'll just block. Okay, so Vanishing Verse.
Bye.
We're going to jumpstart the Vanishing Verse. Sadly, it's hard to decide what to get rid of, but then I decide, you know what? Let's get rid of the enchantment. Unfortunately, we are swinging for 5 here. Our hand is just full of interaction and ways to kill stuff, so we're not too worried about what they might do. There's Corey Steel Cutter number 3 or number 2, whichever one it is. There's Sleight of Hand to make another monk. So this is an interesting place to be in. Consider makes more monk tokens. We're not too worried about the monk tokens because we have the pulse in the graveyard. But what we can do here is we see the attack. We can then go for the Lightning Helix on the 3/3. Trigger them to try and do another cantrip here. Yeah, there's the Spell Pierce. So we'll respond by destroying the bigger token. So, yep, they counter. We take 4. They got 1 mana open. Oh, there's a Joshua. It's pretty nice. Let's start with a Maelstrom Pulse.
Try again.
Take care of their thing. We will discard Joshua because we can Cosmic Rebirth him if we want to. We'll shock in here. We need to stay on defensive here. So what we'll do is we'll Lightning Helix, drop in the Bring to Light because we can always flash it back. We'll jumpstart it.
Oh, he did.
We're not going to attack because obviously we're on 9 and a triple Phoenix kind of crazy hand could kill us. There's their 4th Steel Cutter. And there's another Phoenix. Yeah, this is me counting the Steel Cutters. So I was just like, wow, you gotta be kidding me. It's the 3rd or 4th one. But to be fair, they have drawn like a ton of their deck. So let's block the Phoenix. Take 2 damage. Right, we draw a Cornucopias, that's perfect. Now we have life gain on top of everything we've got. So let's play a Niv Mizzet Reborn. Even if they kill this, we gain 5 life.
Reload.
We only hit 2 here, but we do find a Kuja, our new boy. We'll hold back blockers. Yeah, there's a Lightning Axe as expected. They paid full mana for that. And then there's a Torch Tower to make another monk token. So they've used their entire board state here, and we still have our 5/5 that can't be killed. Phoenix is gone, but we can cast all our spells in the graveyard. We can bring back Garland if we need to. We've got Kuja to start pinning down. And yeah, I remember now. This is where our opponent decides to have a little rage out. And I was like, I'm sorry, are you kidding me? You cantrip like a boss. You got through 3 Phoenixes, 4 Corey Steel Cutters. You can't have a little rage out because your opponent had a counter to what they were doing. But also, this is one of the things I was saying to a friend is, yes, Niv to Light is a lower percentage deck. I'd say it's a tier 3 deck at the moment because obviously we just got S tier. I'd say it's like a BC tier. You really got to pilot the additional points you can get from this deck with your knowledge of it. It's kind of like frame data in fighting games. Like you can know a little bit more and get a few more wins if you know what you're doing. So let's just throw down a Kuja, gain 2 life, start making some wizards. Exile the...
Bye.
So for example, I know for a fact that the Phoenix deck, if you look at the lists, do not run multicolored cards. They're too inefficient. Or the multicolored cards they may run, I think, like Izzet Charm in the budget version, don't have a way to kill Supreme. So Supreme is an S tier card in this matchup. I have had matches in testing where it's just done what it's done on this board. It's just sat there because it can't be killed. So keep that in mind. Know your deck, know what you've got, and know what your opponent has answers to. And they concede because, I don't know, they want to... Okay, final match of the video. Well, we got everything but blue and no blue spells in our hands, so we can keep this. We've got early interaction, a bit of life gain, and a resolving Edgar. Let's hope that our opponent's not on anything too crazy. Okay, I see Boros. There's a Kuja. But, you know, let's bait it out with some Jund colors. See what they go for. Smuggler's Copter. This could be a Greasefang deck. Seasoned Hoplite. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute.
Bye.
Yeah, this is the... if they don't discard Greasefang, this could be the Monument deck. Yeah. Microsynth Gardens. So this deck is all about... Let's drop Kuja because he's new and I want to play him. This is all about copying the Monument. Like, you see these Microsynth Gardens there, in there to copy Monument of Endurance. Yeah, there's an NT, makes sense. Smuggler's Copter is going to become a 4/4. This is such a fun deck concept. I'm really impressed with it. The one problem I've had with it, like you'll see here, everyone who plays this deck, I don't understand why, gets so mad when stuff like this happens. Look, they get their Monument, so they can't play their Monument right now, and it's gone. So we play life gain, ping them with a wizard. We get in with Kuja, and we make another wizard. And then I believe, is it right now that our opponent decides to have a little crash out? Or do they play on for a little bit? Yep, they have a little crash out. Like, I get it, your entire deck is built around the Monument. You literally have ways to... Oh wait, no, they keep playing for a bit. But the crash out is coming, so first...
Try again.
We're going to wizard ping for 2, gain 2 life, blow up the Smuggler's Copter. So they could Synth Gardens copy this in response if they wanted to. The thing is, this deck is such a cool idea. Playing a loot and discard effect in colors where you probably wouldn't expect it because you expect it to be Izzet. It's such a cool idea. And I love the way it applies pressure on the board with creatures as opposed to just, you know, casting draw discard spells. So... it's really sad to me that it always seems to just have people have crash outs when they're playing the deck. You know what, let's just throw out a Niv, because I'm pretty sure they're going to time themselves out here. Yeah, look, I get it. Your entire deck is built around this one card, and when you don't get that card, it really sucks. When I don't see a Bring to Light / a Niv in a matchup, it really sucks and makes me, you know, so it like makes you not want to play your deck sometimes. But what do you accomplish with these rope outs? You know,
Reload.
you don't get nothing. Ooh, a low hit. Look, we got a low hit guy, so you could have stayed in. Flip Kuja, and now we have every spell will do 6 damage. This, yeah, Kuja is starting to rub off on me as well. I also love the tokens, because I've seen a lot of people be like, I don't want to kill the tokens because it's a waste of a spell, because they have no power, but they still do damage every time they attack. So Kuja is probably going to replace the second Edgar in this deck, so we will probably leave it that way. Also because it was Final Fantasy IX, which was really sick. Not my favorite, but... And they concede because, yeah, whatever. Good games.